Ethics is a branch of philosophy which studies the principle of right or wrong in human conduct. Right or wrong are qualities assigned to action, conduct, and behavior. Importance of ethics. Indispensable knowledge. Without moral perception, man is only an animal. Without morality, man's rational being is a failure. Morality is the quality of human act by which they are constituted as good, bad, or indifferent. Moral integrity is the only true measure of what man ought to be. Um, um, Two major division of ethics. General ethics, special ethics. Yung pangalawang ethic ay meron siyang A or B. Yung A, professional ethics, at yung B, police ethics. General ethics, the study of the general principle of morality. Special ethics, the study of the application of the general principle of morality. Professional ethics, a sub-branch of special ethics. Example of professional ethics. Number 1, medical ethics. Number 2, business ethics. Number 3, legal ethics. 4, code of ethics for teachers. 5, code of ethics of public officials. Number 6 is police ethics. Police ethics, a practical science that treats the principles of human morality, duty as applied law enforcement. Human act, act which proceed from deliberate free will of man. Essential attributes of human act. It must be performed by conscious agent who aware of what he is doing and its consequences. It must be performed by an agent who decided willfully to perform act. Kinds of human act. Elicited act, those performed by will and are not bodily internalized. Wish is the tendency of the will toward something, whether this will be realizable or not. Intention, it is tendency of the will toward something attainable but without necessarily committing oneself to attain it. Consent, it is the acceptance of the will to those needed to carry out the intention. Election, it is the selection of the will to those effective enough to carry out the intention. Use is the command of the will to make use of those means elected to carry out intention. Fruition is the enjoyment of the will derived from the attainment of the things he had desired earlier. Commanded acts, those done either by man's mental or bodily power under the command of will. Internal action, conscious reasoning, recalling something, encouraging oneself. Internal action, for example, walking, eating, dancing, laughing, listening, and reading. Combination of internal and external movement. Example, studying, writing, driving a car. Moral distinction, dictates of reasons, stand for the norms of morality, which is the standard by which actions are judged as to their merits or demerits. Moral, good action. Action which are the conformity with norms or morality. Immoral, bad actions. Actions which are not good, which are not in conformity with the norms of morality. Amoral, indifferent actions. Action which stand neutral in relation to the norms of morality. Voluntariness comes from the Latin word voluntas, referring to the will. Direct voluntariness, primarily intended by the door either as one end in itself or means to achieve something. Perfect voluntaries, person who fully knows and full intended an act. Imperfect voluntariness, person who act without fully realizing what he means to do. Conditional voluntaries, person who is forced by circumstances beyond his control to perform an act which he would not do under normal condition. Positive emotion, love, desire, hope, and bravery. Negative emotion, hatred, horror, sadness, despair, fear, and anger. Fear, disturbance of the mind of a person who is confronted by an impending danger or harm or himself or loved ones. Violence, physical force exerted on a person by another free agent for the purpose of compelling said person to act against his will. Habits, lasting readiness and facility, born frequently repeated act for acting in a certain manner. Action and emotion, man does an act with emotion and feeling, not like robot. Rights and duties. Man is born with rights and duties, and having right is attribute of a person. Natural rights. Based on natural law, that is a human nature. Human rights, based on a human positive laws, either those enacted by a state or a religious act, religious sect. Civil right dependent upon the laws of the state. Alienable rights, civil or religious right which can be surrendered or removed, such as the right to decent livelihood. Right of jurisdiction, power of lawful authority to govern his subject and to make laws for them. Right or of property, power to own, to sell, to barter, to lend and to change or give away one's personal possessions. Juridical right, all right in so far are based on laws. Non-juridical rights, founded on laws, either natural or human, but on the virtue. Subjectively, it is a moral obligation upon a person of doing or avoiding something. Duty, is a moral obligation because it depends upon free will. Kinds of duties. Natural duties. Imposed by natural law such as the duty to care for our health. Positive duties. Imposed by a human positive law such as a duty to pay taxes and observe traffic rules. Affirmative duties, which require the performance of a certain act such as casting during election. Negative duties, which required omission of a certain act. Bills of right. It's a list of rights pertaining to persons. Civil rights. Those which each individual enjoys his private activities or his transaction with others to protect and granted by law. Civil and political rights. Political rights is an individual enjoys participating in government affairs. Civil and political rights are what we call human rights. But it is a widest sense. Human rights include those pertaining to those dignity of the person, such as integrity, liberty, education, health and work, and welfare. Human rights are the good given rights inherent to the very existence of man.